A small town roots where the stories run deep. Amador County secrets we keep. Kandi and Garrett bringing the talk. Who, what, where every Sunday we rock. From schools and teams to the county fair. New biz, old roots, dandelion days in the air. Leaders and local stories that wow. Real Talk Sundays. Tune in now.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Kandi Thompson
and Gary Gray.
So guys, journeying on this series of getting to know Amador County, we are super blessed to be sitting down here today with the City of Sutter Creek City Manager, Tom Dubois. Welcome, Tom.
Hi, thank you.
Yes, so we this has been such a fun journey, and I don't know if you were ever aware of our podcast before this, but like last year we did the city supervisors, and that was so fun. Like just even people that you know, getting to know so much more about them that you never knew. So, but Tom, I don't know you at all. So this is going to be really fun getting to know all about you. So the whole purpose of our Getting to Know the City Manager series is truly just that. Like we want to get to know the person kind of behind the, you're kind of behind the scenes, you're never really in the front, but you're the one calling all the shots, right?
Well, I have 5 bosses. So.
Right. You're the one presenting them to them.
Yeah.
So, okay, tell us a little bit about you, kind of where you came from and how you got to Sutter Creek.
Sure. Yeah. Well, anyways, Kandi Garrett, it's nice to meet you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I grew up in kind of rural Ohio.
Oh, wow.
A small town called Cortland.
Okay.
It's about 5,000 people.
Yeah.
Very similar to here.
Right.
A lot of dairy cows, a lot of corn.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and so actually when I was looking here, it felt very comfortable actually.
That's awesome.
So you came from Ohio to here?
Yeah, I went to college in Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
Studied electrical engineering, computer science.
Wow.
And I had a summer job at home in a General Motors car factory.
Very cool.
So I was kind of on a path to work in Michigan or Ohio in
Right.
the car industry.
Yeah.
And when I was, I think my second year at college, I got an internship at a startup in California.
Wow.
And I was like, game over. I'm going to California.
Right.
Yeah. No
Like going to the big
kidding.
leagues, boys.
Yeah. Little bit of a culture shock, right? Coming from
Yeah.
Ohio and
Well,
Pennsylvania.
very staid company, and then this was engineers walking around barefoot and very loose.
Very
startup.
loose, right?
That's so interesting. I love
Yeah.
that. And so that took you to where? Where in California?
That was actually in Southern California.
Okay.
But when I graduated, I came out to to Silicon Valley.
Oh,
I
okay.
actually worked in the defense industry briefly in Sunnyvale.
Wow.
But then I started getting into startups, and I worked in a bunch of different startups. Actually went back to business school because I wanted to start my own company.
Mm.
So I did. I ended up starting a couple of companies,
Wow.
mostly all in software.
Okay.
That's so interesting. I love that.
Yeah.
So what are the names? Is there a specific name for them? Or?
I mean, the companies I started were kind of in the internet boom.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I did
Gotcha.
it was like a shopping search engine.
Very cool.
We grew to about
We
80.
call that Yahoo. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
we grew to about 80 people.
Wow.
Our claim to fame, we were nominated for a Webby against another search company called Google.
That's
Oh,
hilarious.
no.
That was hilarious.
We lost.
Yeah, I could see that.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, so I and then I worked for some larger companies. I worked for Intel, and I did work for Google
Oh,
eventually.
you did? Okay.
I also worked for Electronic Arts. I actually spent a number of years in the video game industry.
Oh, you
Nice.
did. Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so any time during that time, did you ever aspire to be like city manager or in politics at all?
No, I was very kind of career focused.
Yeah.
And then we had kids and really started getting involved in the community, volunteering in the schools, and it was just kind of a progression. I got active in my neighborhood association, and then eventually I ran for city council.
Oh, very cool. And that was in what city?
This was in Palo Alto.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I was mayor of Palo Alto. I was on the city
Wow.
council,
Oh, shoot.
and I just really loved it actually.
Yeah.
And they have term limits there, so after 8 years, I was out. That was
Oh,
it.
wow. Wow.
And I was really ready to do something new, right?
Yeah.
It's the kind of second chapter. I've been doing tech for a long time.
Right.
Right.
And so I really just started actively looking for city jobs
Wow.
and interviewed a bunch of different places. I interviewed out here. I really liked the council and I really felt like I could make a difference.
Yeah.
Palo Alto it's not that big. It's 70,000 people, but it's a pretty complicated city.
Yeah.
Right.
And I learned a ton. And Palo Alto runs its own utilities, and I really kind of
wow.
gravitated towards that stuff, kind of infrastructure.
Right. Right. The engineer side of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So finance and infrastructure, and
Right.
coming out here and seeing, just kind of all the need, and the council was talking about, we've got to pave our roads and
Right.
just kind of nuts and bolts stuff.
No, that's so awesome. And so, how long have you been city manager for the city of Sutter Creek?
I was talking to Garrett. It's about 2.5 years,
Okay.
and I think I'm the longest tenured city manager in the county at this point.
Yeah, right.
I started, I think, a month before like Carl started.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, that is. So just don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's a challenge here. I think
Yeah.
just the turnover is tough.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, you're right. And I mean, small towns are notorious for that. And it doesn't matter whether it's the school district, whether
Yeah.
it's, even like the DA's office, whether it's, city manager or anything in the government.
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of a build your resume type of a community, unfortunately, right? Like, people come here to pad their resume a little bit to be able to go to somewhere bigger. And so we know that. We're very grateful that we get people to stay generally for a long time. I mean, in the city of Jackson, we had Mike Daly for years, and prior to you, was that Sean Rabe?
No, I have met Sean. So they had Sandy Spalisi was there for about
Oh,
a year,
okay.
and then Amy Gedney.
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't realize that Amy was the city manager
Wow.
at some point.
So
Okay.
within the last
Yeah.
5 years, we've had a different city manager for Sutter Creek.
Yeah.
Say it again.
In the last 5 years, we've had a different city manager in Sutter Creek.
Prior to
Because
you,
you're
yeah.
prior to you, right?
Yeah.
And the changeover would be crazy. So it's like when you're looking at, I think, city manager purposes, right? The longer you're able to stay in, the more you're able to kind of stick with the job, get things
Yeah.
done, know the budget,
Yeah,
fix
it
the
takes
budget.
a while to
'cause-
figure out community and
Right.
Right.
so
Just kind of acclimate.
yeah.
Gosh, dang.
Okay, so during the time that you've been city manager, and obviously you came into a position that probably hadn't been being run super great for some time, because I mean people were coming and going. So you had to do some cleanup work, I imagine. And what would you say in the 2.5 years is something that you've been the most proud of that you've been able to do?
Yeah, you're right. Just coming in, just kind of clean up and looking at kind of what was working, not working. We really looked at like how we could be more efficient because our budgets are very, very tight.
Right.
And I don't know if most people realize probably 80 to 90% of city staff are just doing the day-to-day,
Mhm.
right? There's not a lot of extra capacity to take on new projects, and
Mhm.
but that's kind of what people want to see.
Right. Growth or something. You're like,
yeah.
well, we don't have any means for that.
Yeah. So I started kind of a long-range financial planning process, and it's pretty clear. Like on the revenue side, revenue for city is tax, right?
Right,
Sales
right.
tax, hotel tax, property tax. Our revenue growth's been pretty anemic. It goes up maybe 2 or 3% a year. And then when you look at the expense side, you got things like insurance and health benefits, fuel costs. I mean, things are not going up 2 or 3% a year.
Right,
So,
right, exactly. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God they're not, right?
wow. So it's long-term sustainability is kind
Right.
of one of the bigger challenges. So I'm pretty proud. A couple years ago, we passed the local sales tax. It's not easy to pass a tax in this area.
No, it's
and
not.
We got almost 2/3 of the vote,
Wow.
and that's a source of funds that's going to infrastructure.
Oh, I
So,
love that.
So it's an extra. It's called a TUT tax, a local sales tax, but it also taxes things like Amazon purchases. So it goes by where they're
Oh.
delivered, and so that money is going towards paving roads and storm drains, and it's just a good source of
That's
funding.
great. How smart too to find a tax that actually can tax Amazon, because that's not, I mean, that's why we always say shop local, right? Shop local because
Yeah.
our, obviously our families that are running it, but also the sales tax. So that's so
Yeah,
interesting.
and if people buy a car, if they go to San Jose, or not San Jose, Sacramento, and buy a car, that tax, 1% of that tax comes back
Oh,
to
very
Sutter, if they
cool.
live in Sutter Creek.
Based off of that tax
Yeah.
that you,
So it's not, they're
wow,
not paying any more,
right.
but it's not going
It's
to
a
Sacramento.
percentage of it, it's coming
Yeah,
to
it's
you.
not going to where you
I
bought it
love
at.
that.
Which,
That's really awesome. Okay. And so with City of Sutter Creek, it's interesting because in Amador County, I mean, we are so diverse. Like, I mean, we have so many. I always feel like we're like a pull apart cinnamon bun, right? Like we're like just a bunch of cities all just bunched together. But each one is so unique, and so they come with their unique challenges. Demographics are different. I mean, if you're looking all the way up from Pioneer to Plymouth to Ione and everything in between, everything is so different. So in the city of Sutter Creek, what would you say is the biggest challenge? I mean, of course, infrastructure, I think, is what we're dealing with across the county. I think that's pretty standard. But what would you say as the city manager, you're finding your biggest challenges are in that city?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've realized it really boils down to economic development. So again, getting back to that 2 to 3% revenue growth, I really think we need some sensible growth that will create jobs,
Right.
that will attract more people. Sutter Creek has been kind of stuck in a planning loop on what to do with its wastewater plant. Parts of the plant are from 1949.
Jesus.
Wow.
I mean, it's really beyond its useful life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it could never really get going. So we would spend money on a master plan, like looking at alternatives, and it would be too expensive to move forward.
Right.
So we just started moving forward.
Oh, good.
So we are working on the design and construction of a wastewater plant. That's probably been my largest focus. I mean,
Right.
it's a long-term thing for the next 40, 50 years.
Right.
And it's really complicated.
I'm sure.
And
Thank God for your engineer background, huh? We're
Well,
lucky for that.
And it's been complicated politically, right? There have been lawsuits
right.
between ARSA, which is really run by Sutter Creek,
Wow.
and the city of Ione,
Yeah.
and Mule Creek Prison.
What
And
the heck?
part
Why
of
can't we
it-
just all work together
Yeah.
here, fellas?
I know.
God dang.
Yeah, and that was my initial reaction, but there's reasons for it, is that all of this wastewater basically goes to the golf course down in Ione.
Right.
And
I mean, that's part of the irrigation of the golf course.
Right.
Yeah.
But the water doesn't balance. So in a wet year, there's too much treated wastewater. The golf course can't take it.
Oh.
And in a dry year, there's not enough, and then the golf course is turning brown.
Oh, right.
And so I think that's been a lot of the source of, the arguments. Is it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right.
And now Ione is trying to develop and add more housing, and they don't have enough wastewater treatment capacity.
Yeah, they don't.
So if we can pull this off, it's going to take us 7 or 8 years to construct and certify a new plant.
Right.
But if we can kind of get the timing right, we'll kind of pull out right when they need to connect. Their city of Ione is not connected to the same wastewater plant
Okay.
that goes to the golf course.
Really?
Right. So they have another plant and they
So you guys are watering the golf course, but the city of Ione is not.
correct.
Wow. That's so interesting. Wow.
Yeah, they have another wastewater plant for the city, but
Wow.
that's again pretty much out of capacity.
Yeah.
So
Right.
So if they can grow and we can pull out and we can switch kind of in coordination,
Right.
And we'll also let this area grow. So Sutter Creek, our treatment plant supports all of Martell, Amador City, and Sutter Creek itself. And so, I mean, there have been talks about things like the Wicklow Way plan.
Right.
We would need to have a new plant up and operating just to have treatment capacity for that.
Right. Which is it's so interesting how it's all happening in all the cities at the exact same time. Plymouth is dealing with the same thing. Thankfully, I don't think City of Jackson has come across that yet. Right, Adam? So,
No, we're
but
just big on homeless.
right,
Yeah.
we've got troubles of our own. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is such an interesting thing. I mean, even with the city of Ione and having to halt building. I mean, they can't, other than the ones that were already kind of grandfathered in because they'd already, been purchased. That's such an interesting dynamic. How are you feeling about housing in Sutter Creek? Are you feeling like there's not enough?
Yeah, again, I think everybody's, when you start talking about housing or development, people are like, well, we don't want to be Folsom.
Yes.
And there's a
True.
lot of space between here and Folsom.
Yes.
So I just call it sensible development, right? I
Right.
think you want to have some growth, but you don't have to go crazy.
Right.
And it's been a struggle. We've had some smaller projects. We are building this transitional affordable housing project.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Where's
Well,
that
we're
at?
not building it, but it's going to be right across from the transit center. You know
Oh,
where that
oh,
is?
oh, I just recently heard that. So the apartment complex that's behind the casino apartments,
Yes.
the ranch. Okay, we actually on a rental side are renting to someone who's living in there, but because it's transitioning to
Well, there's going to be a
affordable housing,
new
right?
one right next to that.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow, I love that.
So it's about 40 apartments.
Wow.
Good.
That's-
Needs it. I mean, the town's only got what
Yeah.
two different apartment complexes from tip to toe in the whole place.
There's smaller ones. There's one on like Sutter Creek Road. There's a smaller
That's true.
one, and so they do have small, but like ones that actually have 40 units. I mean,
Yeah.
these have like maybe 10 to 20.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
going to be low income housing in
Oh,
particular.
okay.
And then we got 12 townhomes near Bryson Park that are going to go in. So
Oh, you do? Oh, okay. So was that sold? So
Yes.
oh my gosh, I'm so excited to hear that.
Yeah.
So we manage a lot of properties on Bryson, and I actually have a duplex that we're in contract in right across the street right now. It's the one that burnt down last year,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so it was completely rebuilt. We're in contract on that right now. And so I knew that the tribe had that up for sale. I just didn't know that it had sold. That's exciting.
yes, and
Oh,
it's all
done.
wired up.
It's
and
ready
Yeah.
to go. Yeah. Water meters, everything. I mean, it's literally set up.
Yeah, and one of the things I like about the city manager role is like every day is different. So
Right.
just thinking about Bryson Park, so we're going to build a pump track up there. We just got a grant
Nice.
from the Amador County.
What does
Community
that mean? A
Foundation.
pump,
It's
pump
so-
track?
It's a bike
It's
track with like
it's
hills.
like with little
How
waves, and they just kind of
fun.
it's called
Oh my
pumping.
gosh. It is,
You-
okay.
instead
No,
of
no, I know.
pedaling.
I know what pumping is. Is this a Gen Z term? Should we know this?
But one day I'm working on a wastewater plant. The next day I'm thinking about the
Yes,
parks.
yes.
Next day I'm thinking about rubber ducks in the creek.
That's
Oh, there you go.
hilarious.
That's coming up
That
too,
is
yeah.
hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's been a while since we've had the duck race, right?
They did
Oh
it
no, I
last-
think it
last
did it
year.
last year.
Last
Yeah.
year, but
But it
last
had
year was
been
the
a
first
while.
time in 20 years.
No, it's been done.
12
It's been
years?
done from while my
Yeah,
girls were little.
There was a big gap though. I don't
Yeah.
know, 12 years. Or,
Yeah.
um,
That's so interesting.
Yeah, so we kind of have this next generation of volunteers who brought it back last
I
year.
love that,
The
yeah.
mayor and
Right, right. Yeah, she's very involved in it. I love that.
Yeah. So next weekend, and it's a big nonprofit fair along with it in the ball
Oh,
field.
very cool. Okay.
And the duck race raises money. Each year they pick a nonprofit or a project. So this year it's money to help fix up the Monteverde General Store Museum.
Where's that?
It's on Randolph, right off of Main Street.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the few intact general stores in the state, I've been told.
Okay.
But the buildings need some love. It's got some dry rot.
Is that
Yeah.
like on the corner? You go and it's right on the corner right there?
Yeah,
Okay, right off of Boston Alley?
Yeah. I mean,
Is
I'm
it
talking about,
Boston Alley in Randolph?
where where the palace was that burned down.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Right behind it.
Okay, I remember that. So, not to tell you, I mean, when you're in real estate, like you learn all these things, but we actually had the property that was listed for sale on the left side of the store, and that used to be part of it, and they donated that store to the city. So,
Well,
and
the-
then behind
the
that's like a barn,
Monteverdes, yeah.
right?
Actually, the Monteverdes, gave it to the city.
That's so
and split,
cool.
Split it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm so excited to know that you guys, that's really fun stuff though. I mean, it's really exciting. I got to tell you, like the growth with the housing is huge. Like but it's one of those things, Tom, and I'm sure you're finding that you didn't have to deal with this in Palo Alto on the city council. But I mean, there is a massive concern about growth in this community. But every city manager that sits in this chair says it's economic development. Like we can't self-sustain if we don't keep growth. Like we have to have the money. Like you said, these things aren't insurance and gas aren't growing by 2% every year. So we have to have something that brings in the money.
It was the opposite in Palo Alto. Growth was a huge issue, and that
Oh,
there was too much of it, and people were really stressed out about
right,
it.
Yeah.
right.
But that's
So
why
you
you
got
say
a
it.
fine
It's
line
like,
right
yeah,
here.
everything's great in moderation, right?
Yeah.
Even growth,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
But I think it's the good point that there's only two funds way to bring in money, right? Either we get more people or everything goes up in price.
Yeah.
That's it.
So
That's right.
we did get a small grant it was to look at entrepreneurship in the county.
Right. That's
And so
awesome.
again, kind of think about what's the government's role in trying to spur industry here or whatever. And I thought just kind of helping people start companies, maybe providing educational
love that.
resources.
You guys do a monthly meeting or something, an
We've been
entrepreneur
trying,
meeting, right?
yeah. So it's been a challenge, though, to be honest. We got a lot of people, retirees, or people here with great experience. I think we've got plenty of mentors,
Right,
For
right.
sure.
and even potentially investors.
You're just looking for
It's
those.
finding the entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And again,
Wow.
trying to, kids go away to college and don't come back. And so how do you create opportunities? So we're continuing to try to figure out how to make that work. We've been trying to make it even bigger than Amador County and looking at the other Sierra Mountain counties. We've been talking to Columbia College, and they're interested in a satellite campus in Amador, which I think would be huge for the county.
Huge.
Yes.
And they're really interested in starting some entrepreneurship stuff, and they think putting it in Amador would make sense since it's closer to Sacramento.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Sacramento State has been great too. They have an innovation center, and they're interested. So it's just trying to pull these pieces together.
Yeah.
And then, one of the interesting topics that have come up lately is we've been approached about a cannabis dispensary.
Right. I think everywhere. Right. I think they're trying to pop up everywhere right now.
Yeah, but all the cities and the county in Amador, have ordinances to prevent it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it gets back to this economic development, and just last Monday night we did an update on the long range financial forecast, and it really doesn't take that much revenue to turn things around.
Really.
And one cannabis store could have a material impact, and they would fund security cameras for our police department.
Wow.
And they would pay potentially up to 8% of their revenue would go to the city.
Wow.
Plus the sales tax. So we're struggling with it. There's a bunch of
Yeah,
people
well, you're gonna have some people in this area that's like it's gonna be dinosaurs, right?
You know what? But Tom, I'm so glad that you're even exploring it, because while I'm not a marijuana user, I understand the benefits of like the medicinal side of it. I know many people that has benefited. And so, but the people in this community, they're going to do it if they want to do it. They're just ordering it online and they're getting it from Calaveras right now.
Yeah.
So to be able to actually get that revenue or the sales tax off of that, when somebody's going to buy it no matter what.
I mean, that's the argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't use it either. There's, like I said, there's a group that's very much against it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then there are other people, and some are surprising. They're like, yeah, I drive to Calaveras, I drive to Sacramento, it's legal.
Right.
Why not? So we're kind of working through that. We're trying to do it in a transparent way.
Yeah. Which that's good.
Yeah.
Definitely try to keep it transparent as much as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that is interesting. Oh, I'm sorry, we forget to shut these phones off. That is, I love all of the directions that you're going. And one thing that I always like to say is, like, if you had a magic wand and you could, and money was no issue.
Budget was fine.
Right.
Perfect budget.
What would Sutter Creek look like? Like, what would be your ideal today based on the need and what you project or would like to see in the future?
I mean, I don't think it would look spruced up, but not terribly different.
Yeah.
I think, again, one of our huge advantages, I mean, I love history, I love that our downtown is intact historically.
Yes,
And you talked about the different cities. I think that's Sutter Creek's main asset
it
is we have
is.
this historically intact downtown.
Yeah.
And then I'd love to see Sutter Hill, Ridge Road and 49 kind of fully populated with productive companies.
Right,
would be
right.
I
great.
think it's a very different part of the city, right? Things like this cannabis dispensary would go
Oh,
up
that's right.
there.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
They're not going to be like downtown.
Right.
Um,
Oh, that's a really good point. I wasn't even thinking about that because Sutter Creek keeps moving their city boundary. So
Yeah.
when I was young, it was downtown, and then it was Sutter Hill and Sutter Creek. But then it's almost all the way to the fair by now, right? It's almost all the way to the Italian picnic grounds.
Italian picnic grounds are in Sutter Creek.
Okay, okay. Oh, you guys are encroaching on Martell. You're
Well,
wanting Safeway. I see what
We
you're
are
doing.
smack against Martell.
Wow,
And
wow.
It's kind of a challenge because usually if an area becomes incorporated, it becomes part of a city.
Right.
And I think that's an issue Jackson and Sutter Creek both have, is that the most incorporated part of the county really should be part of the cities.
Yeah, and it's not.
Um,
Yeah.
and that's where all the tax revenue is. So
It's it.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
the county is never
Yeah,
going to
because
let that go.
Martell's unincorporated.
Yes.
And so it should be part of one or the other.
Right.
Oh, there's
But
a
that funds-
battle between Jackson and Sutter Creek on
No,
that.
it's the county that funds
Oh,
the
really?
county.
Right, but I mean to incorporate it. Well,
No, but
that's
the
so
county will
interesting.
never let it go.
Oh, got it. Oh, heck no, they're not. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like,
all
no, no, that's our
going
piece of
straight to
pie.
That's so interesting. Yes. Okay.
So we have you're probably familiar with the Gold Rush from 20 years ago, the Gold Rush
Yep.
Ranch.
Yep.
So we have a owner there who's talking about some phased development, and that's been extremely slow to kind of move forward because there are all these. There's what's called a specific plan, which has nothing to do with a developer. A city can zone an area, and it's called specific because you can have very specific rules just for that area. It's
Oh.
not like your general zoning.
Oh, that's interesting.
And so back then they zoned it for a golf course and a hotel, and
Right.
they planned out where all the houses were.
That's
Right.
yeah, the one right there, right?
Yeah,
That's in Sutter Hill, right? Like
It
right
goes-
right
Well, it's
behind.
right on the back. Yeah, it's on the
900
backside.
acres.
Yeah.
It would more than double the size of the city. It goes all the way
Yeah.
down.
That's so awesome.
Isn't that the same one that's for sale right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so, back then it was like we're going to develop this all at once, and it really doesn't make sense today. It's not economically feasible. So there's this project submitted to do 150 homes. They would be
Wow.
smaller kind of starter homes.
Yeah.
But getting all those approvals and getting that, it's just been very slow.
Right.
But again, when you talk about the future of Sutter Creek, that's the area too where there could be more commercial businesses and things.
Right.
Basically
Yeah.
going down.
Right. It's a great spot. I mean, that would be your Martell, right? Like that could
Right.
be your Martell. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so one thing that I want to make sure that we share with the viewers, because I think this is really important, and this series right here is designed specifically for Amador County. So our podcast that airs on Fridays, that's nationwide, but we really thought there's so much in Amador County. We want to get this information out there to all the people, like things like this. So one thing I really want to share with people in Amador County is this entrepreneur meeting. So here
Yeah.
you've got mentors and you've got investors, but they're just looking for the entrepreneur. I have identical twins that are going to be 23
Yeah,
in
sorry.
like at the end
Like a
of
spin-off,
this month.
Small Town
And
Shark
so
Tank. Sorry.
we are Garrett has conversations with Adam, and nobody knows. I mean, it just looks like Garrett's just talking to random people. So
Yeah.
I have to give him the polite tap. It's probably your Maddie tap, huh? She has to do this sometimes.
Yeah, just stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, with having, kids that are like, I mean, I have girls that just graduated college that are in grad school, and knowing their kind of friend group, there's a lot of entrepreneurs in there. And I don't think people realize that that's what you're looking for. Like you've got
Yeah.
all the mentors and the investors, you're just looking for the entrepreneur.
Yeah, and we've been trying different topics like how to market online, AI.
Yeah,
how to use AI, even just like how to think about a business plan and the financial side of it. But
sorry.
those have been once a month. Typically, we've been doing them on a Wednesday at at City Hall in Sutter Creek.
Okay.
We have a conference room there.
Where can we find like those dates for that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we try to advertise it. We put
Yeah.
we put it in the ledger. We put it in social media.
Okay.
And so City of Sutter Creek has their own social media pages too, right?
Yes.
So if you are looking, I mean, you can go to probably cityofsuttercreek.org. Is that your website?
Yep.
Okay. And then also go to their Facebook pages because I've seen it. I mean, I'm probably too much of an entrepreneur. Like every single thing I see, I want to create a business of. Like I'm always trying to figure out how I can make new businesses. Adam's not super excited about that. But I think that there's a lot of people that have that spirit. And so it's funny because I've seen these and I thought to myself, like, I wonder what that's all about. Like, I wonder who you're looking for. What kind of, what person are you looking for to be able to come in and do that? You're
Yeah.
looking for the entrepreneur, the one that's really ready to
Really
put on the
anybody.
bootstraps.
It doesn't have to be a young person either, and just
Right.
anybody. And we've had some people with existing businesses
Yeah.
who just want to figure out how to maybe do some things differently.
Yeah.
Other people just thinking about, maybe I'd like to start a company.
I think
So-
it's such a great idea. I love that support of,
Yeah.
of entrepreneurs.
And really just trying to create like a regular kind of meetup where people can also just share with
Yeah.
each other kind of things they're going
Right,
through.
networking.
Yeah.
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 No, that's so great.
Which is the
Okay,
number one thing
okay,
for
Tom, I'll
business.
come to your next one. Fine, I'm in.
Yeah.
So I think that you've given us such great information and I appreciate it so much. We love knowing like all the stuff that's to come and I know that all of the rest of the people do too. I think that the fair the Italian picnic comes up. Do you guys generate any revenue from that since the Italian picnic is in the city of Sutter Creek?
I guess indirectly. Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
they
right,
also
right.
do
Just by having a lot of people
just
come to
people
this
there.
area.
Yeah, and they do the parade down Main
Oh, that's
Street.
right. That's right. Okay. Yeah, and then also, and I love that you have even thought about having a college campus, or what did we call it?
Satellite campus.
Satellite campus. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I've always thought Amador County was missing was a junior college. I
Yeah.
think that would make such a difference in this community.
Yeah, I really think Columbia College needs to work with the school district and.
Well, school districts need to figure out what they're doing first before they can even move
Well,
programs.
Columbia College actually works
Yeah.
with the school districts. They
Yep.
offer dual enrollment. So there's
Right.
many kids that graduate from Amador and Argonaut that come out as like sophomores in college. Or honestly, some of them have their AA when they graduate because of the dual enrollment that they do with those classes. And those are different than AP classes.
Right.
It's just by taking that class, you also get the credits for college. AP, you had to pass a test at the end or you didn't get those credits.
Right.
So it is a different dynamic and it's actually more beneficial to the students in Amador County than, the AP courses are great. My girls went through them and as a result, they started college like as sophomores and they were very beneficial. But I love their partnership with Columbia College, but I agree it needs to be taken to one more step, like
Yeah.
out of high school students.
Yeah, and there's Amador College Connect, which is
Right.
not just Columbia, but I think Coast College, and
Oh,
they
okay.
work with some others. But that's all remote learning,
Right.
and that's great that we have that, but also getting that in person.
Yeah.
I think that's what people want. They get tired of online and
For
Zoom
sure.
and everything.
That's right. Okay, so being the City of Sutter Creek city manager, what are your thoughts on the proposal of what's happening with the schools right now? So you've got the potential that the Amador could become the high school and Argonaut would be the junior high, I
Yeah.
think is what's being proposed right now.
Yeah. Well, one thing when I became a city manager, was interviewing to be a city manager, it's a very different role from a council member.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not trying to dodge your question, but my role is really to be neutral and to follow the priorities of the council.
Got it.
And, from the city's perspective, we look at the impacts of what those changes would be
Right.
in terms of like traffic or, again, load on the infrastructure, whatever
Yeah.
it is. And, from my perspective, the current plan would work well, from the city perspective. There's been some comments about, well, maybe there'll be more student drivers there. I've talked to the superintendent. I think they can have some traffic management plans in terms of when the buses go and how they do pick up and all that kind of stuff. So I
Right.
think those are all solvable problems.
Right.
And I have kids too, and as a parent, but my kids are all out of school.
Are they?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I really feel like that's up to the community and the school district about kind of what goes where and how that happens.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Tom, we are so excited that you decided to join us, and we
Yeah.
thank you so much. We're gonna stay in touch with you and see all of these things that are developing and what's going forward, so we can stay in
Yeah.
tune with that. But we just want to thank you so much. Is there anything that you want to say to the viewers in closing?
I mean, there's just so much going on. Last Monday night, the council decided to move from a elected treasurer to an appointed treasurer.
Oh wow!
So this is like brand new news. We need to start to kind of get the word out. And Plymouth did this a couple of years ago. So the issue, there's this idea that an elected treasurer is kind of independent. But the problem is you can't really have any qualifications, so they may not know anything about finance.
Yes. That is a thing about elected positions, true.
Yeah, and the treasurer, we have all these financial controls and auditors and stuff. So by moving to a appointed position, we can impose qualifications and say you need to have some accounting background.
Yeah.
But it goes to the voters, and so
I was curious about that.
Yeah.
So does the idea of it being appointed go to the voters?
Yes.
Or okay, that's what I thought, because that's one thing with the school district. We've got an elected county office seat, which really doesn't benefit the district if it's not the same superintendent, right?
Yeah.
So that county office superintendent and the district superintendent, it's designed for them to be one. We have seen a bifurcated system and how that worked. And so that's been a talk when I was on the school board of how to get that position appointed. And it did have to go to the voters also.
Right. And a lot of times those elected positions, like if you have an elected clerk or an elected treasurer, really somebody else on the staff is doing all the work and then handing it to that person.
Right.
And so it does kind of cost us money and it's kind of inefficient. And so if the council can appoint a qualified person, it'll be more efficient.
I love that. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
You're right. A treasurer. I never even thought about that being an elected position. It seems like you need to make sure they have the qualifications necessary.
I think it's a little archaic. I think back in the day, it was much more common. Everybody's writing paper checks, and the little treasurer would look at all the paper checks.
Yeah.
Now I think about
balance account. Like, hey, well, I wrote this.
Yeah.
These are what it says.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I think about 70% of cities in California have appointed treasurers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everything's done electronically. It's in our accounting software.
Budgeting and
and so it's really hard for an outside person to really add value there. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you.
Yes, thank you.
Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Don't 4 days after we air this do we hear you've accepted another job. Please don't go anywhere. We're very excited to have you. It was such a pleasure meeting you.
This was fun.
Great.
Yeah,
I'm
thank you so much for what you're doing in Sutter Creek.
There's not that many local news outlets, so it's great that you guys are doing this.
Well, that's why if anything big comes up, you have our numbers, you give us a call, let us get out there.
And I want you to know, we'll go to you. We can go wherever, we can air whatever. I mean, we're coming every Sunday is the goal. And so that's just keeping up with the different areas and what's going on. So we appreciate you. Keep us in tune, and then we'll share it with you guys. So thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. The information provided in this podcast is for general informational purposes only. All opinions expressed are those of the host and guests and do not reflect the official stance of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services or Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Divine Properties or any affiliated entities. This podcast does not constitute legal, financial, or real estate advice, and listeners are encouraged to consult with qualified professionals regarding their specific needs. While we strive to provide accurate information, we make no guarantees regarding the completeness or reliability of any information discussed. We are not responsible for any actions taken by listeners based on the content of this podcast. Additionally, topics covered in the podcast are based on the host's experience and opinions and may not apply to all situations. Listeners are reminded that real estate laws and regulations may vary by location, and information may become outdated over time. By listening to this podcast, you agree to release the host, guests, and any associated entities from any liability related to the topics discussed.